Welcome to Gonzo's Pinball Flipperama Top 50 Pinball Machines. In fact, that probably makes it sound a little more grand than it is. This is my list. It's my top 50 pinball machines. It's a bit like the Pinside Top 100, but, well, firstly, there's only 50, and secondly, this isn't done by committee. This is not done by vote. I love the Pinside Top 100. I spend more time looking over that than is probably healthy. Anytime I'm thinking about getting a game, I look at the Pinside Top 100. It's a great resource, but often I read it and I think I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with that. That's too high. That pinball machine's too low. So I decided to do my own list, but there's one really simple rule to this list, and that is the game has to have lived here in my house. I don't have to have owned it, but I have to have borrowed it or had it in this house for some period of time, because I just feel it's only fair if you're going to rank one pinball machine against another one. It's quite unfair if you've had something in your house for a few months to try and rate it in competition against one that you might have played for 10 minutes in an arcade or on location. So therefore, we've got this list here, which you can see, and at the moment, it's actually only populated with 20 games. So you can see at the top, Attack from Mars, Big Lebowski, Cactus Canyon, Fish Tales, Elvira's House of Horrors, Foo Fighters, Champion Pub, Dolly Parton, Sopranos, World Cup Soccer, Medieval Madness, Rush, Avengers Infinity Quest, Judge Dredd, Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, that's the home edition, the little one, Stern, Star Wars, Popeye, X-Men, and at the bottom, Jackpot. Now, whenever I do one of these videos, and I've not uploaded one in quite a while, and for that I do apologise, which is why I'm going to do 3 big hitters today. Every time I do one of these videos, people say, well, where's Addams Family? Or where's Jurassic Park, the main game? There will only be 2 reasons why a game doesn't feature on this list. Either I've not had it in this house, in which case it doesn't qualify for the list, or I just haven't got round to doing the video yet. So if you want to keep up to date on the list, in the link in the description below is Gonzo's Pinball Flipperama Facebook page. I will always endeavour to keep an up-to-date top 50 list on there, pinned to the top, so you can go and check it if you're interested in that sort of thing. So I haven't uploaded on the channel generally as much as I would have liked recently, but I've got a little bit of time now, so I thought I'd try and populate the list, which is why I've gone for 3 big hitters. I'll tell you what they are. Excuse me, they're quite good, these magnets. We have Godzilla. That's a big hitter, right? Then we have, these are 3 Sterns. Batman 66, and last but not, well, it is least actually, is John Wick. So, people have been asking for quite some time, hey, never mind all this Dolly Parton, never mind Rush, never mind Judge Dredd, where are the big hitters? So here are a few big hitters now. Now, unlike the Pinside Top 100, I don't necessarily rank everything based on their criteria or the same ones. So when I'm assessing a game, I like to look at things like, how fun is it? How addictive is it? Do I want to push that start button again? Not only what are the shots like, but what are the toys like? What are the mechanisms? You know, how important is the theme? What I'm not so concerned with is the artwork on the back glass and things like that, which I know you're supposed to vote on the Pinside Top 100. Stuff like that doesn't really interest me. I mean, let's be honest, Congo is a pretty ugly pinball machine, right? But it's still a great one, and it would be pretty low down the list if you were going to start factoring in artwork and stuff like that. So I guess it matters a little bit, but overall, a great pinball machine is a great pinball machine, and if it's good, if it's addictive, then it's probably going to get on this list. Most importantly, is it fun? I think that's the thing. Is the pinball machine fun? And then lastly, what I do is I sort of look and think, well, I've had it here and it's gone. Do I miss it? That's really important, because sometimes you get a pinball machine, you might enjoy it for a period of time, then it goes, you don't really miss it. But then there's others which you just desperately want to get back. And I have some news on that, actually, in terms of this channel. So you'll notice at the top, and for quite some time, I think that's probably been up the top for however long I've been doing this series, for a couple of years, Attack from Mars. Now, I'm not going to repeat everything I think that's great about Attack from Mars, because he's got his own videos. In fact, I think Attack from Mars has probably got 3 videos on this channel. So I'm not going to repeat myself on that, but Attack from Mars is coming back. That's how much I miss it. I'm putting my money where my mouth is here. I don't just think that it's my favourite game. Of all of those that I've rated so far out of the 20, I'm getting it back. And the other thing I wanted to, there's three things sort of happening here at the moment in Flipperama Towers. We have a Jaws on the way, and the Jaws is going to come imminently. And I've been loving everything that I've seen on Jaws recently. I suspect it might go on to be one of my favourite games. So it was a must. I mean, you may remember I did the video. What did I have? I had Looney Tunes here. I had Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I had John Wick. And I had Barrio's Barbecue Challenge all here at the same time. And the idea was that I was going to choose one of them, to buy. In the end, I decided to get Jaws. That's how much I like Jaws. Really, really excited about that. And the other thing that we're trying to do at the moment is we're trying to get hold of a whitewater, because you may have seen, so there's some restoration videos on this channel where Ant does his wonderful restorations. Go and check out the T2 restoration, which is on there. Fantastic. One of the most beautiful, probably the most beautiful pinball machine I've ever seen. The Addams Family restoration, again, on this channel. And we have some Fishtails restorations, which will be producing that video quite soon. So the idea is to get a doer-upperer. Let's put it that way, a doer-upperer, to get a restoration pinball machine, which we can then give to Ant, and then he can pimp it up, do his stuff, customize it, and then at the end of it, hopefully get a really nice whitewater pinball machine. So I have already been offered some, but I mean the ones I've been offered are sort of they're quite well done up anyway, which is sort of not, maybe that's something I'll have to go for. Wasn't the intention going into this and doing it as a video series, that's for sure. Anyway, without further ado, I think I'm just going to try and get on. I'll go through this a lot quicker than I normally would. On a lot of the games that we've done before. But I'll tell you what, let's start with Godzilla, shall we? Godzilla, Keith Elwin game, absolute classic. A friend of mine's hasn't got a pinball machine, he loves pinball, and we've been speaking quite a lot, and he said he's going to get one game. He said, if I can have one game. I said Godzilla. It was on his list. He gave me a list of a handful of games, and yeah, it is you, Jason. And I said, well, Godzilla, probably. Godzilla would have to be the one. It's got a bit of everything, really, hasn't it? It's got so many good shots. I mean, in many respects, some of the best shots. He's just so good at that stuff, Elwin, isn't he? Avengers Infinity Quest, which is on the list, it's got magnificent shots. It's wonderful. The theme's not overly for me. I can't pretend that I spent ages watching Godzilla as a kid. I didn't, but I don't care. The game is so good, I don't care. The theme is easy to understand, and that's what I think that's what's really important to me, because one of the criteria on my top 50 list is the game intuitive. And the theme has to be good for a game to be intuitive, because the theme teaches you the rules. Always go back to Champion Pub. I can explain to you Champion Pub in 10 or 20 seconds, and because of that, once you understand the story and the theme, you'll understand the rules. You're a bar brawler. You go into a bar and you have to pick a fight with all the other tough guy brawlers and boxers in the bar. You work your way through until you basically beat everybody and become the pub champion. That in itself, just telling you the story, tells you the rules. It's the same for Attack from Mars. There's flying saucers invading all the major cities on Earth. You have to go destroy the flying saucer. You have to free and liberate all the cities, be it Berlin, be it London, be it Paris, and then you basically got to go and defeat the aliens. The theme gives you the story. For Godzilla, it's maybe a little more complicated than that, but it's easy to understand. It's obvious to understand. Destroy some stuff, destroy some tanks, break a bridge, defeat some monsters. Absolutely brilliant. There's loads of little side modes on it. It's a fantastic game. It really, really, really is. And I can't say anything bad about it. I mean, I didn't keep it here, and I think the reason I didn't keep it here was it was probably a little bit long playing for me at the time, I think. And I think if you have a number of long playing games, then I just at the time was in a position where I sort of wanted shorter games. I'm not the best player in the world, but I do remember a friend coming over once and us having a game of doubles, and I think I had the ball of my life, and I think I was playing for 15 minutes, got extra balls, and he was sort of stood there a little bit bored. But great game. In a one-game collection, It's probably the best pinball machine you can buy, and I absolutely understand why it is top of the Pinside top 100. But it's not. It's probably, well, I'll tell you now, it's not going to be top of mind. But it is an absolutely excellent game. What we're going to do is at the end of the video, I'll make some space and I'll put these where I think they should be. I think it's also worth pointing out, because the next thing I'll go with is John Wick here. It's worth pointing out that the John Wick, I am comparing a Pro to a Premium. So I guess the list isn't fair. The top 50 isn't fair, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be fair. It's just my list, and it's what I think. What I am prepared to do is maybe revisit this at a later date. And if, for instance, I like a Rush, that's a Rush Pro. If at some point I was to play a Rush Premium or a Rush Elite and it blew me away, I'd probably move it up. So I do. We're not comparing apples with apples here precisely, but I think you get enough of an idea. We talk about some of the criteria for the Gonzo's Pinball Flipperama Top 50. Is it fun? Is it fun? Godzilla was a load of fun. Takes you to John Wick. Is it fun for me? No, it's just not fun at all. And I want to point this out now. I don't give a damn that it doesn't have guns in it. I don't care. I think I've seen it. To be fair, I've probably watched more John Wick than I've watched Godzilla, but I greatly prefer Godzilla as a game to John Wick. I found the code in Godzilla is difficult. I would play Godzilla and I would never get to the end. Whereas, in fact, I have got to the end in Champion Pub. I have got to the end in Attack from Mars. I've got to the end in Cactus Canyon. There's a few games where I either get to the end or I feel I can, but not because the shots are tough. I'll never reach the end in Godzilla because of the code. It's slightly different in John Wick. The code, I feel, is a lot more clawed back than in Godzilla, but I will never reach the end because the shots are tough. In fact, so tough and so fast that I can't play the game. So even if this was the best pinball machine in the world, it's too difficult and it's too tough for me. So the simple question is, do I find John Wick fun? No, I don't. I found it tedious. I found it frustrating. And not only that, you play a hitman and you find yourself having to accept missions. I never even managed to complete a single mission, which leaves you feeling frustrated, which doesn't allow you to progress in the game. It doesn't allow you to get on with the game. And because of that, there's no way that I can rank this pinball machine high. I also really feel that it's completely lacking in any toys. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, actually. Maybe it has the Mustang in it, which is okay. But even when you just sort of claw it back and you compare it to, for instance, the Pro on Stranger Things, which I would still consider to be, it's a relatively new pinball machine. It's a Spike 2 pinball machine. But there's more going on Stranger Things. You certainly feel that you get a lot more bang for your buck, particularly with the draw, not a drawbridge, but where the frontage of the building falls down and creates a ramp, and then you've got to hit the Demigorgon. There's a toy. There is a toy in it. I think even in the Pro for James Bond, you do have the Aston Martin there. So it felt very, very stripped back for me. There's almost nothing I liked about the game at all, apart from I thought Ian McShane doing the call-outs was really good, but that's not enough for it to rank anywhere near good enough on my top 50 list. So it'll be no surprise if I tell you that John Wick, I've not put it on there yet, it's not going to go too high at all. Last but very much not least is Batman 66. Batman 66 is pretty much a yes to everything. It has the theme that appeals. It's fun, almost too much fun. It should be illegal, it's so much fun. It has the toys. The turntable's fantastic. The crane. I think the crane is brilliant. I know it's just stolen from the original Batman theme, but it works. Why not? Why not reintegrate it? If something works, why not? It's brilliant. George Gomez is absolutely one of my favourite designers. I'm lucky. I've got Deadpool here, which again will feature very highly on there. That's never going anywhere. I've got Lord of the Rings here. I've had Monster Bash. Batman 66 I've had, and it's now gone. I've not ruled out that coming back again, because we asked this question, which is, did you miss it? Have you missed it since it's gone? And obviously John Wick I haven't. I have to say Godzilla I haven't particularly missed since it's gone. Batman 66 I really have. I think it's perfect. I think the coding is perfect on it. So does it have a complicated code? You bet your arse it does. But talking about arses, it's, if you just want to play it, you can play it in a simple way. I guess like Godzilla. If you just want to play Godzilla in a simple way, just go and get the monsters or go through the cities, fine. If you want to stay and complete the cities and do the tanks and do the bridges and do all the stuff, fine. If you just want to go on and do a little side thing, just want to do the UFOs, the UFO multi-balls, then you can do that as well. You might just want to do the Mecha Godzilla. That's fine. I find Batman 66 the same. If you just go for it and you just want to try and imprison Catwoman, Penguin, Joker, if that's what you want to do, then you can do that. It's not relatively easy, but it's achievable. You'll get there, even for a relatively, sort of inadequate player like myself. But then it offers you the opportunity to gamble. Can you gamble? Would you like to gamble? So you don't have, you could be doing well on the Riddler. You could get to a point where they'll ask you do you want to end the mode and throw him in jail, or do you want to gamble and double your points? Oh, it's tempting. I know it's not the only game that does that, but it can make the game. You can either shorten the game or lengthen it as much as you want. Then you've got all the mini TV modes. They're absolutely great. I love the shot. Has it got a particularly innovative shot? No, but I love them. They're repeatable. I love the Commissioner Gordon target. Again, it's another element of gambling on there. It may be my favourite code. Of course, it's Lyman Sheets code. It may be my favourite code of any pinball machine. Yeah, quite possibly. It's gorgeous looking. And I know I said that aesthetics weren't a factor, and they're not. I mean, you could have the best looking pinball machine in the world, but if it shoots crap, I don't care. I mean, at the bottom of the list at the moment is Jackpot. Forget Jackpot. John Wick. I don't like John Wick. You could roll John Wick in Gold Dust and Glitter. It would still be a crap game. I don't care. You could get Christopher Franchi to do the best artwork in the world on John Wick, and it would still be a crap game. Speaking of Franchi, he did the artwork on this. Love that guy. Just incredible. Just absolutely incredible. Everything about this game, it's almost got the dream team, isn't it? For me, it's obviously got Gomez doing the layout and creating the game. Obviously, Lyman Sheets on code, Franchi on artwork. Doesn't really get any better than that, does it? Batman 66 is just an absolutely tremendous game. It's fun. I miss it. The rules, they're intuitive enough. Are they intuitive? Not if you want to do the deep stuff. Maybe not the TV modes, but if you just want to, as I say, chuck the Joker in jail or something like that, it's absolutely fine. I have a feeling that Batman 66 at some point will be returning back to the collection. That's how highly I rate it. So I think what I'm going to do now is start chucking these games up on the board, and I'm going to just start with Batman 66. This is tough. This is tough. So I look at the top of the board now. I've got Attack from Mars at the top. Big Lebowski. I mean, Big Lebowski is a heck of a game because it is just packed. It's just packed. Everything is working on that. It's got the upper playfield, the extra flipper, the car, the bowling, the theme. It's built. I don't think I've seen a better built pinball machine than Dutch Pinball's Big Lebowski. But then we've got Cactus Canyon, and Cactus Canyon is a great game. It really is. But I'm going to tell you now, I am going to put Batman 66. There's enough room for it there. I've got to move Lebowski up a bit. Batman 66 is going in at number 3 on my list, and it is well deserved. It is well deserved. I'm happy. I'm pleased to see it go up there. I'm going to take a John Wick now, and I'm not sure how much of this you can see on the camera, so I might have to adjust the camera a little bit. So at the bottom, you've got Jackpot. And I have to tell you now, John Wick is going near the bottom of the list. I'll go. There's no point me going through the top of the list because the answer is yes. I would have all of those games on the top of the list before John Wick. So we'll just get further down. I'd have Rush before John Wick. I would take Avengers Infinity Quest. I would have Judge Dredd. I would take Ghostbusters, and I would take the Jurassic Park Home Edition, which is a very underrated small game, over John Wick. The Home Edition's got the T-Rex that eats the ball or spits it out or something. It's got the little jump ramp on it. That's got more. Just let that sink in for a second. The Home Edition has got more. The Jurassic Park Home Edition has got more mechanisms on it than John Wick. It's disgraceful, really, actually, if you look at it like that. And this is not anti-Stern, by the way. As I say, look at where Batman 66 has gone there. It's incredible. And we're comparing a Pro with a Premium. I'm getting a Jaws. My choice of next game is Jaws. And you'll see, Godzilla certainly won't be at the bottom of the list in a second. But this is a poor effort. I feel that. I would prefer Stern Star Wars above John Wick. I really would. In fact, I've got a thing with Stern Star Wars. I think I want to give it another go. And I want to see if I can sort the geometry issues on plunge. If I could do that. It wasn't my game when I had it. If I could sort that out, then I'd certainly like to try it again. There's a lot to like about that. John Wick or Popeye? I would take Popeye. I'm not trying to be controversial for the sake of it. I'm not going to even put this on the title of the video. I'm not trying to draw you in. If you're here now, you've watched the whole of the video anyway, and I thank you very much for that. But I'd also take X-Men above it. It's not going bottom, though. Jackpot is still staying at the bottom of the list. So John Wick is going second bottom from Jackpot. Which takes us to last but not least, Godzilla. Godzilla. This is a tough one, but this is not the first time I've been in a tough position doing this video, because look where Medieval Madness is. That's sacrilege, right? Not for me. Not for me. But Godzilla is a fine game. An absolutely fine game. A wonderful game. And if you were to tell me Godzilla's the best pinball machine ever made, I wouldn't argue with you. I totally understand why you would think that. I totally do. But for me, it's despite everything it's got going for it, I think I've had more fun on other games. And that's really all it comes down to. So I'm actually going to put it, I think if I had to have one game now, and this is what it really boils down to. If I had no pinball machines and you were to offer me one now, to borrow for a year, take money out of the equation, I would take Godzilla. I absolutely would. But I'll tell you where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it just above another amazing game, Foo Fighters. And let me just explain to you why. Because I think if I had to have a game out of the two, I think Elvira's House of Horrors just pips it. The shots are better in Godzilla. And Godzilla, if you've got a premium, it's packed. And you are comparing premium with premium there. And the bridge is great. Mecha Godzilla, that's fantastic. The magnet grabs it. The building collapse. That's good. But I do think it's hard to beat the combination of the crypt and the house and the junk in the trunk, or whatever it's called. I do think the video content and the sound on Elvira is significantly better. And I think if things were different, I'd be hugely tempted by that Elvira Blood Red edition. The Godzilla Anniversary Edition looks great as well, by the way. But I think Godzilla is a great-looking pinball machine anyway. So I think I'm over-explaining myself here. That's a good place to be. I'm really lucky because I've got a lot more games to rate and put on this list. And the majority of the games that go on that list are going to finish below Godzilla. And I'm reasonably confident Godzilla's going to be a top 10 game for me, certainly. So I'm not saying it's poor by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm very, very lucky to add these games here, which I'd just like to say at this point a massive thank you to the channel sponsor, Pinball Heaven. Without Pinball Heaven, I wouldn't have had half the games that are here. They're so great. They send me games to play. They send me games to enjoy. They send me games to review. Without having them here, I wouldn't be able to assess them, and they wouldn't get to go on this list. Just a massive thank you to all of my mates as well, who you know, get invested in this series. And you know, pinball's such a great hobby. It really is just wonderful. It's such a wonderful community and a vibrant community. And I wouldn't be able to do half of this stuff without people lending me games as well. So I'm absolutely thrilled with that. So thank you to anybody and everybody, not just Phil at Pinball Heaven, anybody and everybody else that's ever lent me a game that goes up on this list. And just remember, if you haven't seen it here, I either haven't had it, so it doesn't qualify. Twilight Zone can't go on this list. I've never had it, okay? Neither can Adam's Family. I've never had it. But if you know I've had the game, you've seen it on the channel, you might even see lower down on the list. I'll show you one here. Look, here's Venom. There's Congo, for instance. Anything written in red, I've not done a video on yet. Elton John. That's going to be an interesting one, right? Elton John. What a game that is. Enzo, who features on this channel, has just purchased an Elton John. Damn fine game. I'm really interested to see what a lot of these companies come up with next. Absolutely buzzing. I know. Look, I've got my spooky t-shirt on. Not t-shirt, is it? My hoodie, spooky hoodie. Thanks, Spooky. There you go. I wore it in the video for you. Well, we'll get TNA up there as well. We've got Spooky. We've got TNA. We've got Scooby Doo. We've got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we've got Looney Tunes as well. So I've got some spooky games to put up there as well, which is absolutely great. But I know they're excited for their next game as well, which is brilliant. Really excited to see what Stern do next. JJP, it's going to be huge. We got the Dutch Pinball. It's Alice in Wonderland's a Papa Duke game. So, but yeah, there's that, and there's the other title as well. So it's just so much stuff to be excited about at the moment. I for one it's a really good time, really good time to be in pinball. And I've got to say, if you're lucky enough to be in a market and you can afford a new game at the moment, then you got a tough decision on your hands. You really do. But anyway, stay tuned to the channel. Sorry I've not uploaded as much recently. I've been incredibly busy with work, which ironically is also video-related stuff. I'll try and get another one of these out as soon as possible. I've got a video coming out of Tilt in Birmingham, which is a great location to play pinball at in Birmingham. We should have Matt Vince coming on to do a chinwag, talking about his victory at Pinfest. What a show that was! What a final that was at Pinfest. Really tense final. Went to a playoff with Nathan and Matt, both of whom have been on this channel. That was really tense and dramatic. Pinfest was a rip roaring success this year. Gutted not to be able to attend all of it. I'm going to go bigger, better next year. We're gonna hit it hard. We'll do loads of content for that as well. I got a little chat with Enzo coming up as well. We got a TNA video coming up. We got Attack from Mars coming back into Flipperama Towers. We got Jaws turning up as well. There's good times. Really enjoying my pinball at the moment. Of course, I've not shown you my new Lord of the Rings game, which is really been playing a lot of Lord of the Rings recently as well. So yeah, there's lots to do. There's lots to do. And my son's got better at pinball, so now I can do more filming, and he can just play while I do the filming. So I'm teaching him how to edit as well. So we should be able to get a little bit more content up for you. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. As ever, please hit the like button. If you haven't enjoyed the video, you're not going to like it, hit the thumbs up. You know, even if you didn't enjoy it, if you could hit the thumbs up, that would do me a massive favour. Has to be said. Subscribe if you've not done so already. Hit the bell icon. You'll know when I probably next year or something. You'll know when I upload next. But yeah, listen, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your positive comments on the last video. Absolutely brilliant. We're gonna wade through them. I'm gonna reply to every single one over the next few days. I'll catch up with you next time.